day is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
Thanks for joining us. Welcome. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. So Jeffy joins us today. How's your day going so far?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Oh,
yeah,
good.
Hanging out all right.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. It's the usual day.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into great detail,
No?
but, it's okay.
Okay. Why don't you want to get into great detail?
Because we don't
We're
have to.
really interested.
Are you?
We're really curious about it.
Listen,
Keith's been asking about you all week.
That's true.
Has he?
I've missed you a
Has
lot.
he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, it's going awesome. I've never seen times better.
Really?
Never seen times better.
You've never seen better times than
Never.
right now.
That's
Wow.
correct.
Huh.
That's correct. No
That's
place
good.
else I'd rather be, Pat.
Okay.
Than right here, right now.
You're kind of living the dream then, is what you're
Absolutely.
saying.
Absolutely.
Seemingly, that's what you're saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, that is what I'm saying.
Okay.
well, then I invite you to come in Monday through Wednesday of next week for me. Since you love it here so much. What's that? Checking your watch? What's going on there?
Yesterday, experts at Wall Street freaked out about the Trump tariffs, but wouldn't be the first time the experts were wrong about something on the economy. Got a montage of the Biden administration leaning on experts regarding his Build Back Better plan that you might remember some of this.
Good stuff.
Today, 15 recipients of the Nobel Prize in Economics released a letter in support of the president's Build Back Better plan.
Including four Nobel Prize winners
Nobel.
recently highlighted in an open letter.
Stupid's right.
17 Nobel laureates who have conveyed this will help address inflation.
14 Nobel laureates in economics said it'll actually bring down the cost. It will reduce the deficit, and it will totally paid for, and it's going to reduce inflation. 17 Nobel laureates in economics.
Yeah, 17 now.
And 15 Nobel
15.
laureates
Now
in
it's 15.
economics.
Okay.
Released a letter yesterday. 17 Nobel
Back to
Prizes
17.
in economics.
Back to 17.
Said, spontaneously wrote
That's
together.
incredible.
And 14 Nobel laureates.
Now back to
in economics
14.
wrote to me telling me
Just
it will
14.
also diminish the impact of inflation. And I told you about the impact of 17 Nobel
Yeah,
laureates. saying it's
17,
going to decrease
13,
inflation.
14, 15.
This is from 15.
15 now.
Nobel
Now we're up
laureates
to
in
15.
economics.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Because this agenda, the one I'm talking about,
Incredible.
mine,
Nobel, 17 Nobel. winners of the
17.
Nobel.
Okay, we're
Nobel
from
economics
17.
have written a letter just about 3 weeks ago to me affirming that this bill would ease long-term inflationary
17?
pressures.
It'll ease.
14. I think it was
Now
14.
14.
Sorry.
Okay,
Nobel
it's 14.
laureate economist
Nobel laureates.
in economics, saying this is going to what I'm proposing will reduce the inflation.
Wow.
I mean, it's just amazing. It's
That's
just amazing.
incredible.
And you could do that to so many
Oh,
things
yeah.
with him.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could. Especially
And
when
we
it
have.
involves numbers.
Yeah.
He could not get them right.
Ever.
And I love Curly's Nobel. There are 17 Nobel economists. Wow. He got it wrong. He said a different number virtually every time.
Multiple times in the same speech.
How is it not written right in front of you? Why? How is that possible? How is it even possible?
Some people would say that, when you base things on a lie, sometimes you can't remember what you said
Yeah.
before.
So I don't know. It's between 0 and 406.
Somewhere in
Okay. So I don't know. You do the math.
We've got Nobel laureates all over.
All over. They're really Nobel laureates too. So
KJP. So dumb.
incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. But even Geraldo Rivera thinks the new tariffs are necessary.
So when you look at these moves, Geraldo, what do you see between the tariffs and Wisconsin? What do you think? Where are we?
Let's just start with my vacation, Chris.
Sure.
Because the family, Erica, Sol, and I did visit Japan just back. I can tell you, we went the length and breadth of the island archipelago, and the big cities like Tokyo and the others. we did not see a single American car on the road in Tokyo.
That's what I'm saying.
Not a Caddy, not a Buick, not a Ford, not a Chevy, not a nothing. We have plenty of Toyotas here in my neighborhood and around the country. So why is that? Now, I have an innate sense that there's something unfair going on vis-a-vis the American consumer. Now, I heard O'Reilly say that the numbers, give or take, don't really matter, that the experts will figure it out one way or the other. But I think that if these numbers are correct, or some fraction of them, if the trend is correct, if there's not an essential lie being told here, and if we are getting screwed by these foreign producers, then I think it is fair. If the reciprocal tariff, the key word is reciprocal. If they're screwing us, we've got to tax them at least. And he's saying, President Trump, that half is about the right amount. Well, I don't know. The experts have to determine that, but I just think that there's it smells something rotten.
Interesting.
According to the reciprocal tariff list that President Trump showed us the other day, Japan already charges 46% on American products that come into Japan.
Yeah, so why
46%
would you want to sell them there?
Right? You wouldn't.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Well, it raises the price too high.
Right.
And nobody's going to purchase it anyway.
Right. So, wouldn't it have made sense for all of these countries to say, "All right, yeah, we'll remove the tariff"? He gave him the opportunity.
Yeah.
He even pushed it back multiple times. What, 3-4 times? He pushed the deadline back to where these kick in. They could have done this, and they just chose not to because they've been on this gravy train for too long now, and they're not willing to give it up.
What's I don't have that list. Do you have China over there? Because China announced this morning a 34% tariff on all U.S. goods coming in.
Yeah, in addition to the 67% they already charge?
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're at 100? 101? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Is it on all products or certain products? I mean, honestly, I don't know.
Across the board, all American products.
Well, we're going to talk to an expert from the Heritage Foundation about it today. We'll get the answer to some of those questions, hopefully.
I'm a little concerned about the pharmaceuticals, tell you that.
Are you now? Are you?
That's on my list. It's on my list to be concerned about.
What a surprise. You'd be concerned about pharmaceuticals.
I'm just saying.
Let me give you one word. Jace. Let me give you 2 words. Case. Jace Case. Try that. Try that.
3. JaceCase.com.
Yeah. Before then, because the dot counts as a word.
Doesn't count as a word.
It's not a word?
No, it doesn't count.
All right. All right. Also, Senator John Kennedy simplified this whole thing.
America is rich. We buy a lot of stuff. President Trump is saying that if you foreign businesses want to sell in America, then move your business here and hire American workers. That's a laudable goal, and I support it. It'll work long term.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
I want it to.
Yeah, I do too. What's Thomas Massey saying about it? Anybody heard him talk about tariffs? I don't remember hearing him discuss it.
Yeah.
But
he's on the outs now, right? Nobody cares.
I guess so. Yeah.
Trump said he doesn't like him, so we're moving on.
Yeah, Trump wants to primary him.
Yeah.
Ron Paul, or is this Rand?
Rand Paul, sorry.
Yeah, you put Ron. That's his dad. His dad's not in Congress anymore.
Yeah, I'm gathering that from you saying Ron Paul.
Yeah.
I'm glad we dwelled on it. All right, Rand Paul.
He's not a fan of the Trump tariffs. As you can imagine, the whole Paul family, I'm sure Ron doesn't like this either, because they're like-minded on the economy. And here's what Rand had to say.
Senator Paul, we enjoy having you on Rising quite frequently. Yeah. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think you're someone who has Trump derangement syndrome. So why is it that you think this tariff policy is perhaps misguided or perhaps should not be the purview of the executive branch rather than Congress?
You know, on many fronts, I'm a supporter of the president. I'm a supporter of the president's looking for waste and abuse, cutting out, eliminating the Department of Education, et cetera. I like his cabinet. But on tariffs, I think it's just economically, it's a fallacy to think that it will help the country. Tariffs are a tax, and if you tax trade or if you tax anything, you'll get less of it. We know by looking at the history of the last at least 70 years or so in this country, that as international trade has increased, so has the prosperity of our country. Really, so has the prosperity of the entire world. About 100,000 people escape poverty every day as we speak. It's the most extraordinary thing that's happened in the history of mankind, and it's really from capitalism and from international trade. So the people who are for tariffs are just wrong. For example, with Canada, if you put a tax on things coming in and out of Canada, what you'll find is it just leads to higher prices for consumers. There are estimates that cars may increase in price by about $10,000. And then before we cast aspersions at Canada, we should understand that Canada buys more stuff from us than China, plus Japan, plus England, and plus Germany. So Canada buys more from us than we do from 4 large countries. So trade with Canada has made us prosperous and makes Canadians prosperous as well. It's a win-win situation. The other reason to be opposed to this, though, is the Constitution says taxes originate in Congress and more specifically originate in the House of Representatives. This tariff or tax will originate with the signature of one person. That's not what our founding fathers wanted. They didn't want the executive
That's your best
to
argument
have
right
any
there
kind of power like the power to tax. They feared the power to tax, and that's why they gave it to the House of Representatives and to Congress.
Yep. You figured Rand Paul was going to be against him. Glenn joins us this morning, and I'm guessing you got some thoughts on the tariffs as well that are kicking in?
No, I just wanted to say hi.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hi.
You wanted
Yeah.
you wanted to share that you decided on the same shirt that
Yeah,
I'm
well,
wearing?
I called you earlier this morning.
Yeah.
I said,
what are
shirt
you
gonna
wearing?
wear?
I'm going to wear the blue one. And you went,
Mine's a little more electric blue than yours, but I'm just saying.
They're pretty close.
They're very close. I think they may be the same shirt. I could be wrong. Did you see Jonah Goldberg? He came out and he's like, "Oh, really, Glenn?
What is his deal with you?
I don't know.
I mean,
but
this
he
guy is after you.
You know what it is? I think it's sad. I think it's a cry for attention. I really do.
That's possible.
I think it's a cry for attention.
Because seriously, he hasn't had a lot.
No,
in
he's
the
been
last
out
few
of the
years.
limelight, and it's kind of sad. But so anyway, somebody sent it to me last night, and I read it, and I'm like, dude, man, you need to relax. First of all, I think I'm pretty clear on this, and I don't know. Are you the same way I am? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
I don't like the tariffs.
I'm a free trade guy, but I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I like bold solutions, and I want to give it a shot.
Yeah.
And so I'm with him, but I'm not enthusiastic about it because I really am concerned. But he knows more than maybe others do. Knows more than certainly most in Washington do.
Yeah.
He's a good businessman. He's the best negotiator. And if this is a negotiation,
which it seems to be. That's what he wants the other countries to come along.
Concerned that the attention span of Americans may not allow.
Well, then they were never going to fix our country.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you can't
and
fix our
it's going to take a
country.
while. I mean, the economy, even when Reagan took over, I mean, that was a couple of years.
1983. It didn't turn until 93.
Exactly.
And we don't have the patience that we did then, and we didn't have much patience then.
Yeah.
So,
well,
it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough ride
It's going
for
to
a
be
while.
tough, but I tell you, I wouldn't count this guy out.
I know.
We've counted him out as a
mistake before.
society
Yeah.
over and over and over again. You're like, no, the guy doesn't die. Don't count him out.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a whole list we got the list that he shared the other night of all these nations who have been charging us tariffs.
It's pretty incredible.
It's an amazing list. No?
Have you not done your homework on this one?
Yeah, well, we're talking to a guy from the Heritage Foundation.
About those numbers? Those numbers that say how much they're charging us, those aren't the numbers.
Ooh. Well, he added a couple of things. He added currency manipulation, and he added something else that I can't see without my glasses.
Oh, yeah. You like his new glasses?
I'm 114. These aren't the new ones.
Oh, no.
Those are the Jackie.
Those are
the Jackie glasses. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And the trade barriers that they put up. So currency manipulation and trade barriers are added to that stuff.
Yeah. Yes. So it's not really the number, but I don't like doing that. I don't like having to explain to my friends that, what I mean? When somebody says, those numbers aren't real, I hate defending it.
They kind of are.
They kind of are, but they're kind of not. You know, we don't like it when the other side does it. We have to at least call it out and go.
That's for sure.
I wish you would have done that.
Can I just say that on your program yesterday, Glenn, I thought Stu had a very interesting take.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
actually.
you're fired.
Really? Okay. Well, I'm going to go back to bed then. Screw that. And he made a good point that, like, if tariffs are high, then businesses, like, what's the end game, right? And he was saying that if you get tariffs down to zero.
Okay,
right?
Did you hear my explanation on this?
Yeah,
My answer?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so
I thought it was stupid. Stu is such a
right, Jeffy.
I never liked him.
So
You've got a promotion coming your way.
Glenn, set up Stu's argument.
Okay,
there.
so Stu said, I don't understand. What's the goal? Either to bring jobs back or to have a level playing field.
Right.
But
in which case, companies might move offshore with cheaper labor.
If you have high tariffs, then they're going to move here. But if you have an even playing field, those jobs will move back across the sea. So which one is it?
What do I want?
Right. And I told the story of Donald Trump buying or selling the New York Plaza, okay, the Plaza Hotel, okay, big, old.
Right.
Nobody wants to own that damn thing because it's a big,
monstrosity.
expensive monstrosity, a block, a whole city block in New York. So he owns that, and they're getting ready to sell it, and they want to sell it, and they've got some people coming in from Japan. And so everybody's meeting with the team beforehand, and they're like, okay, all right, stay focused, everyone. This is our one buyer. Let's sell them the plaza, okay? And then Trump comes in, and he brings in the Japanese people come in, and his people start pitching the plaza. 5 minutes in, Trump says, hang on just a second. I don't want to sell you the plaza. Listen, I've got another thing. And he talks them into the West Side Highway, that huge complex of 5 buildings.
Where he built
5 or 6, okay? There was just land, okay? He didn't have the funding for it. And he an hour later, all of his people are like, we didn't sell the plaza. What the hell just happened? We had to sell the plaza. No, Trump just wants to do, in this case, what's good for Trump, what's good for his business. He'll sell the plaza. He won't sell the plaza as long as he sells this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So he's just, I believe, the negotiation here is what moves America forward? A level playing field where everybody has it close to zero? Right. Okay. We still have to, do some manufacturing here in ourselves, and we'll have another plan for that. But that's a win. All the businesses move over here to the United States. That's a win. So we don't understand it because Republicans are never in this position. Whatever happens, whatever they choose, we win.
Yeah.
We're always, whatever they choose, we lose.
Yep.
Right.
Incredible. And I hope that's what he's doing.
I hope so too.
And again, you said he's earned the benefit of the doubt, as far as I'm concerned.
He's not only earned the benefit of the doubt, over the years he has shown us he has the best gut I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
He's smarter than I think anybody gave him credit. He's
Absolutely.
really super smart. He's put a good team together. And the most important thing that we all saw in last summer was the guy is truly country first.
100%.
And I don't know, except for Reagan, that I can say I have lived through a president who will literally die to do the right thing for America. He's lost a ton of money doing this. He's lost so much doing that. He didn't need this.
Right.
And to come back for more after what they put him through in the 4 years in between.
And the same thing with Elon Musk.
Right.
They both lost so much in this process.
And they love, it's clear they love America and just want America to win.
Yes.
I say we give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Yep. Even though it's something I don't necessarily
I don't agree with it.
I
spent 30 minutes on the phone with him arguing about tariffs. Did you know that?
Yeah, no.
So he calls me up. Glenn, no, you don't like the tariff thing. No, I don't like the tariff thing. I really don't. So we talked, and he asked my opinion on it. We went back and forth on it. And in the end, what most politicians do is most politicians will say, well, you make some great points. I'm going to give it some thought. Let me think about it. Instead, he said, Glenn, I just love tariffs. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
No, he does. We just played something yesterday from the 80s where he was completely sold on tariffs.
Yeah.
And that continues now. So what did you bring up the fact that prices are going to go up for Americans?
Yeah. And it's a tax.
Yeah.
And that's when he said, we've got to bring the taxes down.
Yeah.
We have to. This has to be with cutting regulation and cutting spending and cutting taxes.
And that's what he's trying to do.
That's what he's trying to do, but our Republicans in Congress won't get it done.
Yeah.
They won't get anything
done.
Well, same thing happened
they'll get
last
done?
time.
They'll reverse these tariffs. And then we'll be back to where we started. And I want Congress to take their power back. But you're starting here.
Yeah. Right. How about
you're starting here?
Tax cuts permanent. Let's do that.
Forget the tax cuts permanent. Tax cuts permanent. That's everybody's excited about the tax cuts. No. Listen to me here for a second.
Yeah, sure.
Everybody's excited. Oh, the tax cuts. He's going to make them permanent. That's a good deal. But that's not a tax cut. That's just giving us what we already have.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
We need 15, 15. That's what we need.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And Pat,
that's bold thinking. And I think we got it from him.
Yeah.
Where is it?
That's what I'm here for. Bold thinking. And you asked what Thomas Massey is saying. His latest tweet on tariffs was this the other day. When was this? I don't know. For most of our country's history, the federal government was funded by tariffs. There was no income tax. The budget was mostly balanced, and federal spending was less than 10% of GDP. So
he's right.
Yeah,
there you go.
He's right.
So things were a lot different.
But they can be different again.
If you could eliminate the income tax, I'd be fine with the tariff. That's great.
And that's his goal,
Use
right?
the tariffs.
150,000 or less.
But let's get rid of the IRS. It's like the fair tax thing.
150 or less. That's not getting rid of the income tax.
I understand that. It's a start.
When's the last time you worked for a poor man? When was the last time you were in a bad neighborhood and a poor man came out and said, "Hey, I want to hire you to take care of my lawn"? I'm starting a new business.
It starts the conversation. It gets a lot more people on board if you couch it like that. I hate it that we're in a world where you have to package things to bring other people in that otherwise wouldn't be interested in the conversation.
I'd be for that, except what's going to happen is exactly what they did under Woodrow Wilson. They said no taxes unless you're in the top 90%. And they said, and in the top 90%, only 7%. And it was 95% for those guys within 2 years.
Yeah. You know what another good example of doing it piecemeal like this is? The abortion discussion that we never thought Roe v. Wade would be overturned, so we're looking for incremental change.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just limit the time that you can have an abortion, blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden, the Supreme Court made the decision of overturning Roe v. Wade. It's bold. We should go for it.
This is the time.
Yeah, let's go for it.
I've been saying this for a while. We need a moonshot president. We now have one.
I know.
Right.
We now have one.
And to not support it
really
is
true.
He should have been out yesterday. He did his tariffs. Okay, everybody's talking about it. Good. Now do the next bold thing the very next day. Walk out into the White House Rose Garden with an axe and say, here's what I'm going to do now.
Yeah.
I'm going to take and I'm cutting all regulations in half today. All of them. I don't care indiscriminately. If they won't take care of it, I'm just going to say indiscriminately take half of this and throw it out the window.
Right.
Okay. And that would have caught, and nobody would be talking about tariffs today. They'd instead be talking about regulation. And today, he should come out and say, now, Republicans, do your damn job. 15. You're sitting here talking about taxes that have been passed 8 years ago, and you don't have the balls to do that. Don't you understand the country is in trouble? Right now, I'm tired of playing games. Get it done. That's the Donald Trump I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And that's the Donald Trump we've had, except for some reason when it comes to Congress.
Yeah.
He won't do it with Congress.
It's interesting. Yeah.
999, though. Herman Cain. We don't want that.
Well, I'm really 444. I'm okay with
How about
that.
000? How about that?
I like that. It's easy to remember.
Somehow you got to provide for the common welfare, right? And defense. But other than that, I mean, that's all the Constitution calls for. So if you can do that with tariffs, and no other taxes, I'm all about it.
I would even be for, I did a monologue yesterday, and I talked to Kevin Roberts at the Heritage Foundation. We did a podcast, and I told him, because Stu asked me yesterday, so what jobs should we be creating? You've been telling me all these jobs are going to be gone because of AI. Right, they are. My nephew just asked me, Uncle Glenn, I'm thinking about doing welding and picking up welding. Is that going to... And I said, are you kidding me? In the next 5 years, welders will be in great need.
Yeah.
Because we've got to build our literal infrastructure. We got to build power plants, power substations.
And businesses are dying on the vine looking for employees to do that work.
Right. Yeah, they're retiring. Yeah.
Right. So
5 to 2.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is that right? I saw a number that said the tradesmen are retiring 5 times and only 2 people are replacing.
That sounds
the
right.
5.
Yeah.
I think
so that's a
incredible.
great job. That job is going to, because we have to build the power plants. And right now,
those need to get built
what is it?
ASAP.
Thorium, I think it's thorium power plant. It's the new nuclear, much safer.
Yes, smaller.
Much smaller. You can build them all over the country. I want the government not to build anything inside. What I want the government to build are probably literal castles all around the country that are way deep into the ground, big walls around it, fortified. Nothing can fly into it, a drone and blow it up, and then give me all of the protection of the electronic warfare that's coming on, and then say to businesses, you can rent space there, put your server farms in there. It's our government. It's their job to protect our infrastructure. Okay, that's of our national security. But I don't want them building server farms. Right. But I do want them to build castles. That's what they should be doing. Those are the jobs we should be creating.
And charging stations. Of course, the Tesla charging stations, they got to be built.
No.
500, just 500,000 of them.
You almost had it.
No,
just
right
500,000.
That was right there. And then no.
Sorry.
How about one? How about we use the same amount of money and we build one
charging station? Okay. Well,
where
we can negotiate it.
Where am I putting that?
Where do you put the
center
one?
of the country. If
Right
you're
in the
driving
middle.
across the
Kansas.
country,
Right.
you're driving across the country, you might need it someplace. Let's
You
put it
stop
halfway through.
Yeah.
Stop in Kansas and recharge.
But that line's going to be long.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Glenn. From Angel Studios, the studio behind King of Kings. It's a father who tells his son the greatest story ever told. And what begins as a bedtime tale becomes a life-changing journey through imagination as the boy walks alongside Jesus, witnessing his miracles, facing his trials, and understanding his ultimate sacrifice. The King of Kings invites us to rediscover the enduring power of hope, love, and redemption through the eyes of a child. This movie has a high-profile cast of voices that includes Oscar Isaac, Pierce Brosnan, Mark Hamill, Kenneth Branagh, Ben Kingsley, Uma Thurman, and Forrest Whitaker, to name just a few. Big time animated movie. There's also really beautiful animation, and it's the perfect movie to enjoy with your whole family this Easter. How many movies can you say that about? So I really encourage you to see The King of Kings. It's in theaters next Friday, a week from today, April 11th. So you can get your tickets right now to make sure you've got them in hand at angel.com/unleashed. That's angel.com/unleashed. And get your tickets today. How long is what Ted Cruz had to say about the tariffs?
Long.
It's a minute.
You could hit it here.
Okay, yeah. Let's hear what Ted Cruz had to say.
Look, I think it is a mistake to assume that we will have high tariffs in perpetuity. I don't think that would be good economic policy. I am not a fan of tariffs. And the announcement yesterday, look, time is going to tell in the next month or 2 or 3 what happens. If the result of yesterday's announcement is a lot of our trading partners across the globe dramatically reduce the tariffs they charge on U.S. goods and services, and the consequence of that is the U.S. government dramatically cuts the tariffs that were announced yesterday, that would be a great outcome. That would be good for America. If the result is our trading partners jack up their tariffs and we have high tariffs everywhere, I think that is a bad outcome for America. Tariffs are a tax on consumers, and I'm not a fan of jacking up taxes on American consumers. So my hope is these tariffs are short-lived and they serve as leverage to lower tariffs across the globe.
That sounds like what we just said.
It does sound exactly like what we said. Amazing.
And Ted, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. 888-933-93. Couple of tweets here. Sarah, the band, tweets, Biden's Nobel laureate count is equivalent to a fisherman's fish story. Yeah, it just keeps getting bigger and then smaller. And then, of course, a fisherman, I don't think their story ever gets, the fish was this. No, it was this big. No, it was this. No, it was really big. Like
really
this.
big, yeah.
He just can't. He just can't function, especially when it comes to numbers.
And lies.
And lies. Pint Man Patty Lusty tweets, I would love to know what Jeffy keeps in his Jace case, but I'm guessing he'd just tell me, don't worry about what I have in my Jace case.
I was actually considering at one time to create a Jeffy case.
Oh, no.
I bet that'd be a pretty decent case.
Oh, no.
A little case of fun.
Jeffy case.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. We want to finish up on this tariff discussion for now, and then we've got the Heritage Foundation expert. Who is it from the Heritage Foundation? Chris, what's his name? Richard Stern. Yes, him. Coming up in about an hour.
Richard Stern.
So Richard Stern is his name. So was that not on the air?
It was not on the air. Okay. I don't know why it wasn't on the air.
You tricked me. So President Trump was asked about the tariffs as well. He sounds pretty confident.
President Trump, the markets today are way down, the worst day in years because of the tariffs. So how's it going?
I think it's going very well. It was an operation, like when a patient gets operated on, and it's a big thing. I said this would exactly be the way it is. We have $6 or $7 trillion coming into our country, and we've never seen anything like it. The markets are going to boom, the stock is going to boom, the country is going to boom, and the rest of the world wants to see, is there any way they can make a deal? They've taken advantage of us for many, many years. For many years, we've been at the wrong side of the ball, and I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be unbelievable. The thing that people have to talk about, we're up almost to $7 trillion of investment coming into our country, and you'll see how it's going to turn out. Our country's going to boom.
All right,
okay.
I got to go.
Yeah. Hope he's right. I really do.
It's going to be a very important summer for this administration.
And again, it's going to be a rocky start. Mm-hmm. We've already seen that. I mean, the stocks went down 1,600 points yesterday. So it's really hard. We went out to dinner with some friends last weekend who are really conservative. They're Trump voters. And he said, my portfolio is down, way down. So he wondered if I thought it would come back. I said, look, I'm not exactly the oracle of Wall Street, but I think so. I think it will come back.
Long-term investing, right?
Yeah, right. If you were to withdraw or if you're to cash in now and sell now, it'd be a really bad time to do that.
They always
you got to write it out.
They always say, oh, you got to be in it for the long haul. It's
yes.
long haul.
Right.
Okay.
And that's for sure. He's a really smart guy and a doctor, so I'm sure he knows that. But I really believe it will come back. It just, again, there's going to be some pain at the beginning, and we're experiencing a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And with auto prices going up, this might be a really good time to buy a car before that really kicks in, if you're about to.
Used car prices are actually going up.
Oh, man. All right. Let's check in with Jeffy in a Fat Five this morning.
Awesome. Just a quick FYI, the women's Final Four tips off tonight.
Oh,
I know you've
wow.
been looking forward
really?
to that.
I got to set my VCR.
And the men's Final Four tomorrow.
I don't have a VCR anymore.
Oh, no.
What are you going to do?
I don't know.
It's appointment watching.
Dang it.
Men's Final Four tomorrow. It begins tomorrow night. So
yes, with my perfect Final Four, as I predicted here, Duke, Houston. And Auburn, Florida.
There you go, baby.
So that's who do you think is going to win this whole thing? I got Houston winning.
I mean, Duke looks so good.
They do look good.
They look so good. I'd like to see. I would like to see the Gators win, though.
Would you?
Yeah,
Why?
I'd like to see Florida win.
Because you lived in Florida?
Yeah, I'm a Gator
Is that the
fan.
basis
I'm a
for
Gator
that?
fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I picked Florida, but I'd like to see Duke win for that gambler guy to turn his $5 parlay.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah, I want to bet. Oh, good for him. He won. Great.
And he sold that ticket for $20,000, but now he has to split the winnings if Duke hits.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Good for him.
He's already made $20K.
Again, I'm happy for him.
You don't seem that happy.
Yeah,
for
No,
him.
I am.
What's going on over
You
there?
can't.
That's weird.
I'm excited for him.
All right.
I'm glad
I wasn't feeling that, but
Okay, so it wasn't just me.
no.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I apologize. Portia Moore was with her family and photographer Brianna Enel, who was taking pictures of Moore's young children, Belle 4 and Preston 20 months, at the Tidal Basin in Washington, D.C. early Monday morning when her husband tried to tell her something. Hey, that's President Obama over there. Her husband told her, and she looked up to see the man wearing a baseball cap about 20 feet away. I was so shocked, I ran to the photographer. Did you get it? Did you get it? And they did. The family's cherry blossom photo shoot took a surprising turn when they realized they had captured the photo bomber, Barack Obama, walking behind the kid's picture as he was out for his walk. And, of course, they posted it, and it went viral. And Barack even commented on it with an apology, saying, Preston and Belle, I hope you enjoyed peak bloom. My bad for stepping into the shot. Okay. And he also posted his own Instagram account. It's fun to be able to play tourist once in a while. The cherry blossoms were beautiful this morning. Okay, Barack. He talked to, remember back in, I think, 2014, he did an interview with Kelly and live with Kelly and Michael, and he said he would love to walk around the city unrecognized, and the thing you miss most about being president is anonymity. That was Barack, 10 years ago. Yeah, but Barack, when a paddleboarding accident happens on your property, it's kind of nice that it just goes away.
Yeah.
That no one questions it,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, and nobody questions even the cement overshoes he was
No
wearing.
one questions that at all. At all. I'll tell you that.
So there is that. There's that.
Anyway, a couple things with this story that intrigues me. One, can you imagine? Just block down this moment for a minute. Would you imagine if this was President Trump that walked behind
gosh.
these kids' pictures
right.
out for a stroll with the cherry blossoms?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be this wonderful thing.
No, it wouldn't.
What a self-absorbed,
Yeah,
Yes.
you rude bastard.
You just walked
You
in our
narcissistic douchebag.
I'm trying to take
How
a picture with
dare
our kids.
You couldn't stop and wait till they took the
Right.
photo? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that would be the
And
case.
second, no Michelle.
Again.
Big Mike.
How many times in a row
Barack
is
just
this?
out walking, looking at the cherry blossoms.
Seriously, without her? Yeah.
That's not happening.
That's
over.
interesting.
Yeah, that's over. They might not get a divorce, but that couplehood is over.
It seems
man.
like it,
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
it?
And she's talking about how poor he was when they met on the podcast.
Well, they had student loan
debt.
Yeah. There were predatory lenders that went to their house, surrounded it, broke down the door, and then put guns to both their heads, forcing them to take out loans to go to Ivy League colleges.
Like they wouldn't let him go without signing the papers?
Right, exactly.
Wow, that's not good.
Yeah.
We gotta
They
fix
didn't want
that.
to. They're like, hey, I don't want that student debt.
Sure.
All right, we'll pull the trigger. Okay, I'll get the student debt.
Is that how that went
Yeah,
down?
Yeah.
That's exactly how it went down. They were forced into it. Yeah. Really sad.
Be sure to subscribe to Chewing the Fat, my daily show.
Okay.
Available wherever you get your podcast. Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher. Available wherever you listen to the podcast. Rate and review where you can.
And if I may, speaking of Jace and the Jace case, let's talk a little bit about emergency preparedness. How do you get prepared for any emergency? Well, you got to have a go kit. You got to have a plan with the family for evacuation, where to go, how to meet everybody if you're not together at the same time. And there's a really good chance if you have jobs and things that you won't be. So you want a place to meet. You want food, and you want medication, which you can get from the Jace case. It's a series of antibiotics that treat the most common and deadly bacterial infections, and you'll have them on hand. You'll be prepared when disaster strikes. So if we do have a supply chain interruption, and we keep having those, I mean, I'm waiting for medication right now. Are you still? Chevy?
No,
Or did you get yours?
They actually came in.
Okay, good.
Mine
Good.
coming today, so
Yours
fingers
coming today.
crossed.
All right. So whether the truck gets there or not, you're going to have these if you go to jace.com and place your order. Use the promo code PAT at checkout and get a nice discount. You can get the antibiotics. You can get add-ons like ivermectin. There is a way to even get your daily medication that you need to take every day. So you can check into that as well at jace.com. And you can also enter their giveaway. So go to jace.com, JASE.com. Use the promo code PAT to save. Jace.com.
Yes. Pat Gray continues.
We continue on with the Chewing the Fat Five here on Pat Gray Unleashed. The mayor of Minot, North Dakota, the state.
I love this story.
It says in this story, the state's fourth largest city. I mean, it's North Dakota.
Right.
They have like 4 cities. Okay, stop it. All right, okay. So this guy, Tom Ross, was forced to resign this week after he accidentally sent an X-rated video meant for his girlfriend to the city attorney, this lady, Stephanie Stalheim. This happened back in January 14th. He was trying to keep it on the down low, and details were finally released this week, which is why he resigned. Apparently, the two had just spoken by phone about a police officer under investigation who had died by suicide when Ross accidentally sent Stalheim a video message of him, diddling with himself.
He essentially pulled a Jeffrey Tubin, is what he did.
So anyway, the city attorney was still in the room with 2 human resource professionals when she received it. When she went to delete the video, this is her now, and this is kind of, okay. When she went to delete the video, she saw a thumbnail showing a man part at attention and decided she was too distraught to delete it.
Wait,
what?
That's what she said.
To delete?
What?
That's what she said.
Oh, come on.
She said, I was going to go delete it, but I was too distraught after I saw that.
Cha-ching. We need a cash
After I
register
saw
sound effect.
the man part, I was too distraught.
She saw.
So she instead handed the phone
lawsuit.
to the HR representative.
Wow.
Who they claim the HR representative deleted the video, but I wound up accidentally viewing a part of it in the process. Okay.
Accidentally, of course.
Accidentally, of course.
Oopsie daisies.
Of course.
Okay.
So then they had the investigation, and he realized right away that he sent the video. He said, he called her right away and asked her to delete the video. Wasn't meant for you. It was about 3 minutes after he sent the video. He called her and said, it wasn't meant for you. I'm sorry. Just delete it. Let's move on.
Who among us?
Thank you. Thank you.
I can't believe I didn't hear that yet. I had to do it for you, man.
Thank you.
There is no way. Come on now. Who among us? I don't know. 90% of us have not done something like that.
Wait, Jeffy's not on board.
Sure.
Come on. Why would you do that? Your girlfriend's going to be really excited about that? Come on. That's just weird. Is it not? Okay, it's just me.
That's awesome.
Apparently, after the investigation, he viewed his request to the employee to refrain from opening the video as appropriate and immediate corrective action. That's what he said.
Yeah.
But they said, no, the decision to use personal cell phone to conduct city business and the fact that he would use the phone to record and send explicit videos was reckless, and he shouldn't have asked the employee to do that, the power structure and all. Okay.
Well, he's not asking her to view it. He's asking her to delete it before
it was a mistake.
you view it.
It was a mistake. I shouldn't have sent it to you.
That's
delete
the right
it.
thing to do. If you're going to do it and then it's a mistake, you call her and you say, hey, look.
I'm sorry. Don't look at it. Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't meant for you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to send it. Please don't look at it.
This is dumb.
And I'm really surprised that the HR lady deleted it, because if I'm in the HR department, I'm not deleting that bad boy.
Yeah, that's evidence, right?
Yeah, I'm watching it and sending it.
They're setting up a lawsuit. That's all they're doing.
Exactly.
They're looking at dollar signs.
Absolutely. So you haven't sent a video?
No.
That's kind of
not even to my wife would I send a video like that. Nope.
just thinking of you.
What a prude, am I right?
No.
I was thinking of you.
Yeah.
I love you.
Thinking of you.
Be home in an hour.
No.
Okay.
I know somebody that sent a video like that and got caught cheating personally.
Oh, wow.
So,
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Wait, hold on. Somebody here?
Somebody in this building?
Somewhere in this building, yeah.
Holy cow! Really?
Oh, the plot thickens. What?
Wow.
Go to break. I want to know.
So Sony's, we got time for this. Sony's long-awaited Beatles movie are finally coming together. I know you've been clamoring about when is Sony's going to get this Beatles movie going. So director Sam Mendes took the stage at CinemaCon in Vegas to reveal the cast for the features and said that all 4 films are set for a theatrical release in April of 2028. 4 films. Each of the 4 movies will focus on one of the members of the Fab Four. And then he brought them all out on stage at CinemaCon. So they've got Harris Dickinson. It's going to be John Lennon.
Okay. And that's him there.
That's going to be John Lennon. You have Paul Mescal as Paul McCartney.
Okay.
Joseph Quinn as George Harrison. And Barry Keoghan as Ringo Starr.
What is happening?
And, of course, you get the ever-present group shot with Menendez and all 4 of them. That's great. So producing the films...
They look nothing like
not so much.
the people they're supposed to play, but whatever.
Wow, they'll encompass the character when
will
they
they?
get acting.
Okay.
Yeah, you won't be able to tell the difference.
Maybe with beards and long hair, if they grow it out.
I don't know if the Beatles are the best-selling music of all time. So they're hoping these movies are going to do good.
Are going to cash in.
Yeah, big time. I mean, all 4 movies at once.
They're all coming out at once?
They said all 4 movies are going to be released in April.
Wow.
At the same time.
In theaters, or is that straight to...
As far as I know, it's theaters. Yeah, they all push for the theaters. They all want to love theaters again.
Okay.
Get people at the theaters. Have you seen some of the... Speaking of that, that's not in my Fat Five. Have you seen some of the new theaters they're building? The Super X cinemas and stuff?
I have not.
That's going to be awesome. With
what do they do?
triple screens.
Oh.
And huge audio. I mean, it's going to be really, really cool. Yeah.
So it's going to get even... I mean, it's pretty good now.
I know.
Wow, that's great.
I know.
Good. Did you also see that Disney just tubed the Tangled live
and
version?
And I love Tangled.
Because Snow White did so badly. It's so great.
I love Tangled.
Do we know what they were going to do to bastardize it?
No, we don't.
I don't.
No, we don't.
I don't. But you know they were going to.
Everybody was black.
So... Everybody was black? Is that what, okay.
That was Tangled?
Would not surprise me.
Oh, those were hair extensions going out the top?
Yes.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
Somebody asked in a tweet a while ago, why the pause between good morning and it's Friday?
Yeah, Pat, why is the
I think
pause?
about that now every time. I'm like, I don't know.
It's because it just feels right.
It just does.
It just feels right.
It's just a little more dramatic.
It
that
happened
way.
once. It happened once as a thought, and now it just feels right. I'm with you. I'm
But
with
then
you. I
why don't
understand.
you do it in overtime?
And then why don't I do the pause in overtime?
Yes.
That's another good question. I don't know.
Here's something to answer with.
All right.
Don't fucking worry about it.
Whoa.
All right? We'll do it the way we want to do it.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
If you want to get downright rude, you could go down that road.
Not enough. They'll be judging what we're doing.
Sure.
Wait, that's what they do. Never mind.
All right. 888-900-3393. So tomorrow the Final Four occurs.
Yeah. The final. Well, and tonight, obviously the the women's college basketball Final
Obviously, yeah, that went without saying. That's why I didn't mention it, because I didn't want to insult everybody's intelligence and their awareness of the women's Final Four, so I didn't even mention it.
I'll give Jeffy everything in this jar if he can tell us the 4 womenmen's Final Four teams.
South Carolina taking on Texas. UCLA taking on Connecticut.
Get out of my
I'm sorry,
face.
what?
There you go, right here. Right there.
Oh, man. Sadly, BYU's not in the Final Four.
I know.
This weekend. But maybe next year. Maybe next year. You know, one of the many reasons I love BYU being in the Big 12 is that there's so many Texas teams in the conference, which means that the Cougars come to town
here,
a lot with various sports. So yesterday, BYU baseball was in town playing TCU. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's one of the very few things that can get me to drive into Fort Worth.
Yeah. I mean, that is in the heart of Fort Worth, too, man.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So it's 3 PM, and the traffic from the second you get on I-35 west headed south, confusing as hell to begin with. Dead stop.
That's right. And
dead stop.
And you gotta hit that express lane just right.
Yes.
The way the new
do.
construction
Yes,
is.
you do.
Because if you miss that express lane,
you're screwed.
Now you're screwed.
Yeah.
Even worse.
Now it's a 6-hour drive to downtown Fort Worth. Which, But I got to say, TCU has a really nice baseball stadium. Met a fan there who was the dad of one of the Cougar players. And I said, oh, okay, do you live in the Metroplex? He said, no, I live in Utah. So I asked him, well, do you go to a lot of away games? And he's like, yeah, I go to all of them. You go to all away games to see your son? That's pretty cool.
Nice.
A,
that's awesome.
That's a great dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
B, he must have some cash and some free time. Because that would take a lot to do.
You aren't lying.
It was great to meet him, and the Cougars, of course, lost both games of a doubleheader. So that sucked. How's Missouri doing in baseball this year?
Top notch.
Nebraska.
Top notch.
Are they top notch? You have no idea, do you?
No.
You guys aren't. You're only like football fans of your favorite school, right? You don't even pay attention to the rest.
Nebraska's about 500 on baseball.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Missouri's usually pretty good, so they're probably doing well. Yeah, they're usually. I just don't. I don't really care.
You don't care.
No. Nobody watches baseball anymore, anyway.
I do watch college baseball from time to time.
12-17, the Huskers.
12-17.
Yeah, 500.
Okay.
Like I said.
Like you said.
Again, nobody watches baseball.
That's
Again,
not true.
The math skills aren't necessarily.
I said ish.
Not exactly top
I know the
tier.
Atlanta Braves winning percentage right now. That would be 0-0.
Oh, still?
Yeah.
Pat, they were up 5-0 the other night, and then they lost on a walk-off home run. 0-7.
He was awesome too.
Shohei Ohtani.
Oh man,
yeah, it
he
was
came
fun.
up with the walk-off home run to win that game.
That was good.
Awesome.
It was so awesome.
Also, the torpedo bat thing continues to percolate. Are the Yankees still hitting a lot of home runs with them?
Yes,
they are, man. In fact, let's see. Did I print this up? I might have thrown it out.
They should have kept quiet about this.
You're going to love this fun
noticed.
fact. You're going to love this
They
fun
did?
fact on the Yankees.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. I don't know if this is still accurate. It's a couple days ago. The Yankees are on pace to hit 810 home runs.
Oh, my
The
gosh.
major league record, owned by the Braves and the Twins, is 307. 307 is the record, on pace for 810.
So you're going almost triple. Like 2.5 times the number.
Think there's something to those bats, Pat?
Cow.
Maybe.
I mean, and that's great, right? I mean, that will definitely bring in the crowds.
So I'm hearing
People
it
will
gives
watch.
you up
Yes.
to 18
People will
extra
watch.
18 extra feet of distance, generally speaking, right? Like 10 to 18.
Is that what they're saying?
10 to 18,
Yeah.
I think I saw. Yeah.
That's pretty significant. Wow. So instead of getting caught at the warning track, it's over the fence.
Yes,
it's out of play.
sir.
Wow, that's... So what's going to happen? Are they going to ban it right in the
I
middle
don't
of the
think so
season?
because they said that they were.
Man.
I watched a guy explain even how they made it, how they went to this company down in Louisiana, I think, that makes the bats, and they were very particular on making it legal. It's just they reappropriated the weight
Right.
of where
Because the
wood
rules
goes.
are just the length and the circumference.
Yeah, it's
I'm sorry. It's
but
the
they
weight,
followed the
weight
rules.
and the length.
So it's just tailored to individual hitters.
They gather your
right?
data and they
where
figure
their
out where your
sweet
sweet
spot
spot
is best.
Right.
Now
Interesting.
I was watching
fascinating.
something. Let's see. Did I send? No, I didn't even send it in. I watched a video this morning.
Because we all played baseball with, Joey's bat from
right.
next door. It's the only bat you had. That's what you played with.
So the bottom line of this conversation that I watched was that it won't be long before you have a specific bat tailor-made to the pitcher that you're facing.
There you go.
Based on his
Holy cow.
extremes. Yeah. And you're just going to have, it's like being golf clubs. Be like, oh, look, I've got the Spencer Strider bat I'm going to now go and use. And now, it's
and that's all,
Ryan.
they can't, they absolutely could outlaw what they're doing. But if that brings the crowd back, which offense usually does, people want to see
sure
offense.
Does. Yeah. Well, look at what brought baseball fans back to baseball in the first place in '98 after the strike occurred and really hurt baseball for a couple of years. Then you had the Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa thing. People love home runs.
Teams were promoting. The Rays at that time had their Canseco and Boggs, and it was they promoted it as the hit show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what they wanted.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think baseball is going to do anything because they tried to. Obviously, I think everybody agrees they juiced the baseballs and tried to pull that back. And so I think they're going to actually let this go because
it's good for the game.
It's good for the game.
Like for the
game. Yeah.
And what kind of freak wouldn't want to see home runs? Oh, that's horrifying. Why would you stop the home runs in baseball? What kind of freak would do that?
Just grabbing the bat.
The Atlanta Braves have stopped the home run. That's for sure.
I haven't even looked at how the Astros are doing. Anybody? Do you know? Keith, since you follow it a little bit.
I don't really watch the
nobody watches
AO West. Stop it, Jeff Fisher.
The whole cheating situation with the Astros a few years ago really kind of that hurt. That hurt.
They're
tainted my fandom.
500-ish.
Okay.
They're 3-4.
Are the Rangers in first? Who's in first?
Rangers are in first at 5-2.
Braves in town this weekend.
How about those Braves? Already 5.5 games out of first.
How about that? Oh.
Make it stop.
We're a week into the season.
That's right. Yep. That's what 0-7 will do for you.
They're on pace for like 70 games behind the leader.
See, the Dodgers are on pace to go undefeated, and the Braves are on pace
winless.
to win.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That
if the
would
Dodgers
be.
go undefeated.
Wouldn't that be
and the Braves
cool?
go winless.
Hold on.
That would be a great season. I would watch that.
I would too.
That would bring me back to baseball.
To fans of the Dodgers and the Padres, that you talk about a division race already. 8-0 and 7-0. Those were the two Braves opponents to start the season. You're welcome.
Wow. So yesterday, President Trump also revealed the new Trump Gold Card. He is so proud of that thing.
I know. He has been.
Loves the Trump Gold Card.
Does.
What it's meant to encourage wealthy, successful immigrants to come to the United States and immigrate here. And it only costs $5 million. So it's essentially, here he is talking about it.
$5 million. For $5 million, this could be yours. That was the first of the cards. And then, you know what that card is? It's the gold card. The Trump
gold card. It's beautiful.
Who's the first buyer?
It's beautiful card.
I'm the second. I don't know, but I'm the first buyer. It'll be out in about less than 2 weeks. Pretty exciting, right?
Pretty exciting, right? You're doing right now. I will say that it is no Blaze Unlimited
It's no
card.
Blaze Unlimited card, as you can see right here.
Well, throw that thing down on the desk and give people an idea of the quality of that card.
That's the word.
Listen to
there
that.
you go.
Come on now. Come on. It makes that noise.
Thank you.
You could get a crowd around you at parties.
So it's not just the events, the magazine, and all the extras you get. Yeah. You also get the beautiful card.
That's correct.
With the beautiful sound.
With the beautiful sound. It's a beautiful card.
Take that Trump Gold card.
Nobody's ever heard that sound. It's a beautiful sound. Beautiful.
And by the way, if you already have the Blaze Unlimited, thank you. But you can watch our behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
That we did.
That got published.
Oh, there you go.
And it took.
All right.
They got there.
They got there.
Good. The other day, conservative Laura Loomer. Is she conservative? Is she?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Far right.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but like way so far the other way that it's like, okay, all right. But she was at the White House, and Kaitlan Collins from CNN noticed.
Oh.
The National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz, just got on Marine One with President Trump, but both of them declined to answer shouted questions about the several National Security Council staffers who were abruptly ousted from their jobs.
She's still there.
After an Oval Office meeting that President Trump had with the far-right activist Laura Loomer. Yes, she's the person who before has said things like 9/11 was an inside job and other conspiracies.
Just stick to the facts of this.
She's even been denounced by several Republican allies of this White House. But she had a one-on-one Oval Office meeting with President Trump yesterday. We're told that Mike Waltz was in the room for part of that, where she brought the president a list of several people who work in this administration that she argued should be fired because they were not loyal to the president's agenda. Now, we are told by sources that Mike Waltz stood up for his staff in that meeting, but given the fallout from the Signalgate controversy, he has very little standing to try to really protect their jobs. And clearly, Loomer's message got through to the president. The question remains, how many more could be fired?
Yeah, because remember, we laid out her theory of the staffer that I was under the impression that he had set up the call and put the names in it, but he wasn't one of the 3 staffers, 4 now, I think, that were let go. So I don't know their connection to Signalgate. I just know that that's an interesting.
That is interesting.
Report there, noticing she was there, and then NSA staffers are gone.
Yeah, so interesting.
So I mean, and look, this administration's got to keep. After what they went through the first term, you got to keep a tight ship.
Yeah,
because whether it's intentional or not, incompetence can't be
the
tolerated.
whole Priebus thing last time, and other insiders that were leaking information. You can't have it. You just can't have that in your administration.
Maybe you have Loomer as a watchdog, like employer. Just keep her close. I don't know.
Maybe.
I just don't want leaks, man. I don't want screw-ups like that.
No, that's a problem. Also in Congress, Jasmine Crockett.
Another winner.
She
new
wants
face of the Democratic Party.
What?
The new face of the Democratic Party.
She really kind of is.
That's not hyperbole, man.
No.
Yeah, she really kind of is. She wants us to know what her qualifications are for any job.
Say because you've been gracious, is this. When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy.
Wow.
Well, yeah, he should.
She just admitted that she's a DEI hire. Okay.
Yeah. How bizarre is that?
What point
She's
is
proud
that?
of that, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would be embarrassed that
Because
I was hired
she's
of my
a hardcore racist. So she thinks that's a good thing. She's an absolute
Threatening
racist.
her possible employer.
Yeah,
and you're gonna
sounds
hire
like
me
it,
because
right?
I'm black.
Yeah, and if you don't, then I'll make sure everyone knows
that's
that's
exactly
why you
what
didn't
that
hire
is.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's her qualifications. She just outlined them. She's black, so hire her.
How'd that job go for her? I don't know the answer to that, but I would be interested to see how that job went for her.
Unbelievable. And how to go for the employer.
Wouldn't you love having her as a coworker in the office every day?
Jeez. All right, let's go to Fred from New York. Hey, Fred, welcome.
Hey, how you doing, Pat?
Good. What's up?
Cool.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounds like I got the bingo thing here.
Boy, that's weak, man.
Wow.
Come on, bro. Try harder.
I wish we almost should hang up.
Yeah, almost.
It's got to be like
we really should hang
Fred,
up.
you want to try
bingo?
again?
All right, I won the Pat Gray bingo. Woo!
See. Look at that connection. We're losing it, really.
All right, Fred, where'd your bingo occur?
Okay, it occurred on the second to the bottom row that starts with Keith, I'm just spitballing.
Right.
And ends up with Pat, what kind of freak?
He's in a hurry, man.
Man,
No doubt.
I guess.
Get that done.
Just
So-
skip right
down.
over.
All right. Appreciate it, Fred. Thanks a lot. We got you all set up with the $30 worth of merchandise from PatGrayShop.com and the 12 Kexi cookies from Kexi.com. I trust. We have?
They did. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, man. Well, thanks for listening.
Well, get
Appreciate it.
Back doing your chores.
All right.
Fred.
You know, conservatives know the value of a good night's sleep. I think pretty much everybody knows the value of a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
It's a battle, and sometimes you just lay there and it gets worse because you start thinking about how little time you have left to sleep. You start with maybe 7 hours and you're like, okay, it's 3 hours now.
If I go to sleep right now, I can get 2 hours and 58 minutes. If I go to sleep right now, I can get 2 hours.
Yes, right. It doesn't have to be that way. That's why I'm so excited to share something that's made a difference in my life. Beam's Dream Powder. Beam is proudly founded in America. It's run by people who shape our values and share our values. Hard work, integrity, and delivering results. It's a science-backed, healthy nighttime blend. It's packed with ingredients. These are all-natural ingredients to improve your sleep, so you can wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day the next morning. Dream is made with a powerful blend of these all-natural ingredients. Reishi, magnesium, theanine, apigenin, and melatonin. It's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling just great. And unlike other sleep aids, there's no next day grogginess. If you've ever tried, other things, Ambien or whatever, that knocks me out for like a week. And then you're groggy when you finally wake up, if you ever do. So it's helped about 17.5 million people across the country wake up and feel their best. And here's the deal. Beam is giving my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount of 40% off. So you can try their best-selling Dream Powder right now and get up to 40% off for a limited time. Go to shopbeam.com/Pat. Use the promo code Pat at checkout. That's BEAM, shopbeam.com/Pat. Promo code Pat for up to 40% off, and you'll be supporting an American company. Invest in yourself and start getting your best sleep tonight.
If you like what you hear, find more at youtube.com/Pat Gray.
Man, we have a tragedy happen in Texas here. This was in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. A teenage young man was stabbed in the heart and killed at a sporting event. What event was this?
It was a track meet.
It was a track meet,
yeah.
right? Right.
Wednesday morning.
Apparently there was an altercation with somebody coming in that didn't belong in their area.
Well, he was
something.
part of the student that stabbed the other student was part of another school that was participating in this track event.
Yeah.
And he came into the one guy's area, and they were saying, "Hey, you don't belong here. Get out of here."
Mm-hmm.
And then he stabbed him.
Here's the father of the stabbing victim, Austin Metcalf.
17-year-old Austin Metcalf was voted MVP of the Frisco Memorial High School varsity football team. The linebacker held a near-perfect GPA and was in the National Honor Society.
He was on the right track. He was doing everything right. I was so proud.
Jeff Metcalf never imagined that his son's future would be cut short.
I'm still in shock.
Wednesday morning, Austin Metcalf was at a District 11 5A track meet at Kirkendall Stadium. Around 10 a.m., Frisco police say 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony stabbed Metcalf in the chest after some sort of fight. Jeff Metcalf says it was Austin's twin brother, Hunter Metcalf, who tried to save him.
And his brother was holding him, trying to hold the blood in, and he passed. My son watched his brother die in his arms.
It's unclear how Anthony got the knife into the meat or what exactly led up to the fight. Anthony is now facing first-degree murder charges, and Jeff Metcalf
It was the best weekend ever.
Is only left with memories.
I was able to watch and be blessed so much. To having both my sons are amazing.
When Jeff Metcalf was diagnosed with cancer 9 years ago, his boys were his strength. Now cancer-free, it's his faith that's keeping him strong.
And when I kissed his forehead today, as his body was cold, I ran my fingers through his hair. I told him it's not goodbye. It's see you later. I'll join you at some point too, son. You just beat me to this place.
Wow.
Yeah, and the dad says that he is already forgiven the killer.
And he also said in an interview, a different interview than this, that he didn't want to make it into a race thing. And a little late for that.
I was going to say, I mean, if the rules reversed, that's all you would hear about on the news.
Right.
But
Instead, I haven't heard anybody talking about it until you two just now. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Are they making a thing out of it?
You should get on social media.
Yeah. Yeah. The mother and twin brother of Austin Metcalf were interviewed as well.
They made him go away when they were doing CPR on him, but he was there when he was stabbed, and he was holding, I guess, the wound to keep it from. He was trying to save his brother. But I think he said he saw when he took his last breath and before the CPR came back in. So for what I heard, he was unresponsive for 5 minutes. They were able to revive him a little, but I think it was too little too late.
There was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." And he's like, "Make me move." Austin grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I look at my brother, and then I'm not going to talk about the rest. So just that's just what I saw. And I tried to help him, but
wow.
I mean, holy cow.
Yeah.
Unimaginable. So, again, the dad says he's forgiven the killer.
That's amazing.
The mom says, I'm definitely not there, and I'm with the mom. I'm sorry.
And I don't think they're together because in the one interview he talked about how he had talked to his son, saying his son was going to come over and mow his lawn and stuff. So
Sounded like they're apart.
Yeah, it sounded like they were apart.
Let's see. This is the last tweet of Austin Metcalf. Faith that God got me, and my work will pay off.
There you go.
My gosh.
Really sad.
So sad, man. It's so unnecessary.
Yeah. Yep. It's the senseless ones like that are just so hard to get your head around.
Yeah.
All right. 888-900-3393. We're going to look into these tariffs with an expert on tariffs from the Heritage Foundation next.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
We've got this list of the reciprocal tariffs from the Trump administration. Now, you got to keep in mind here that in addition to the actual tariff, they've also included currency manipulation and what was the other thing that they include here? Let me just get out the specs so I can. It's
Where'd the new pair go?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
They're in the case, and it's too hard to remove them from it.
Oh, okay.
And trade barriers.
Trade
okay,
barriers.
so
Trade barriers.
manipulation, currency manipulation, and trade barriers.
Right.
But I worry that all the products that we now get, and there's a plethora. You go into any store anywhere in America, and you're going to see made in the Kingdom of Bhutan. And with that extra 10% tariff on Bhutanian products,
right.
I don't know that we're going to be able to continue to get our incredible supply of clothing and beverages and food.
We may still get it, but the price is going to be astronomical.
It's going to, a lot of people are going to
have to
be
pay for
priced
that
out of the
now.
Bhutanian market.
When you see somebody with their Bhutanian goods, you're going to go,
extras
rich
now.
Wow.
That's what you have to do. Just buy extras now.
Yeah, well, that's true. Before the tariffs kick in. So we got in touch with Richard Stern. He's the acting director of the Thomas A. Roe Institute for Economic Policy Studies and director of the Grover M. Hermann Center for the Federal Budget at the Heritage Foundation. Richard, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me on and reading the whole long title.
Yes, you're welcome. I thought it was critical to the discussion. So let me ask you about the fact, why don't we know more about the tariffs that America has been assessed on, the tariffs on American products that have been assessed for forever. And they act as though what Trump is doing is just a brand new thing that he's lashing out against the rest of the world, and now they must retaliate, when in fact it is we who are finally retaliating against them, right?
Oh, absolutely. Well, and again, thank you for having me on to highlight this important kind of under-the-hood aspect of what's going on. So I think, part of it's buried in what the Trump administration's talked about, which is a lot of these trade barriers abroad are hidden. They're hidden in hundreds of pages of documentation you have to go through customs. They're hidden in back-end regulations that are hard to see. So a lot of times what's published about the true burden of these trade barriers looks a lot cleaner, it looks a lot lighter, but it hides what the under-the-water iceberg of it. Now, I will say one thing, though, to be fair. The Trump administration's numbers that they're using are still, because of all the murkiness we're talking about, the admin's assumptions about this. It's actually still very hard, and if you look through their methodology on it, even they are unsure of the actual true burden of all of these things from these countries. They're trying to put a sticker price on it, per se, but it's still hard to really be confident about exactly what the barriers are.
Okay, but aren't some of them more ironclad, like some of the tariffs that Canada imposes on things like milk, cheese, butter, chicken? Are those hard numbers, or are those also difficult to ascertain?
Well, to be honest, even those are hard to ascertain. So I'll give you a perfect example on this one. So Canada does impose, and it's actually a variable tariff rate, between about 250 and 300% on American dairy, but only after a certain amount of dairy is exported from the U.S. into Canada. The first tranche is at a 0% tariff rate. So if you think of it this way, if you're an American dairy exporter to Canada and you get in below the effective quota, it's 0%. But if you go over it, boom, 300%, 250%. So even there, right, it's how do you measure that exactly in one giant number? It's still a work of art as well as science.
Okay. What do you think this is going to do to the U.S. economy? Is this going to have a negative impact on our economy?
Well, again, like almost anything in politics, the goal here is to negotiate a win. So I think if you talk about everything that Trump has laid out and the people around him, I think it's clear that what they're looking at is saying, look, there's this whole host of issues across the globe that we need to resolve. That, as you had pointed out, no president for decades has really done the hard work of trying to address. So I think what Trump has done here and the team around him is put together a really well-engineered set of tools to go out to the world and say, look, get rid of your abuses, decouple from China, actually help us secure our borders, stop flooding fentanyl and terrorists into the United States. So if Trump can secure those victories, it'll be a tremendous positive for the American economy and, of course, for the American people.
Do you think it will work?
I think it certainly will, but it's going to be a little hard, a little bit of a mixed bag to see exactly with which country. So obviously Israel now famously got rid of all of its tariffs on the U.S. a day before the order. You have other countries that have already gone out in public and said, look, we've already called the White House. We're working on that. But then you've got countries like China, who today announced that they're going to put a 34% reciprocal tariff on the U.S., in addition to all the other abuses China's done. Now, to be fair, though, part of the goal here is to decouple from China. I cannot stress enough not just how much evil there is in the way the Chinese do things, but China is the world's worst abuser in all of human history, from currency manipulation and forced labor and all these other things. They have plundered the American economy more than any other country in human history.
Yeah. And isn't our trade deficit with China like well over $1 trillion, right?
It's not quite that high annually, but I mean...
No, not annually, but I mean aggregate. Overall, we owe them a lot of money.
Oh, absolutely. And I would tell you again, even that's a number we know of. I would say that the unknown number is probably even higher than that. It's hard to overestimate how much we've lost to them.
So will the prices, I guess the worry right now is that prices are going to spike here. We're going to see some inflation because the cost will be passed on to consumers. So are auto prices going to spike 25%? And are we going to go up all the percentage-wise that is being assessed on these products that are coming into the country?
So, generally speaking, tariffs do pass through the consumers. However, this is only half the story. Trump is, of course, in the middle of negotiating a massive tax cut package with Congress. So if you think of it like this, even that tax cut package has a lot of tax increases paired with better tax cuts. In fact, it's kind of trillions of dollars on both sides of the equation there. But on net, it's a massive tax cut for the vast majority of Americans. So if we really use all the new tariff revenues to offset the deficits from massively cutting taxes on the American middle class and American businesses, it'll be a net positive. But again, part of that is he's got to win negotiations, not just across the globe, but with Congress to make sure that those revenues are used for those tax cuts that help the American public.
Why hasn't anyone taken action on this prior to now? Why did it take Trump in the year 2025 to finally try to do something about this?
Well, I think you could ask that question about everything the legacy media has done. You could ask that question about school choice, about the destruction of our cultural institutions and our values for decades. Mm-hmm. And I think we all know the answers to these, right? Which is that there's been this long march through our institutions of the left, and it's a left that doesn't believe in America as a philosophical grounding or as a place with borders and a people. It's a left that seeks the destruction of the U.S., of the West, of our Judeo-Christian values. And so I think when you look at it, you're looking at decades of politicians who came to D.C. and either furthered that leftist goal or were simply passive to it, didn't have the courage to fight it, and were satisfied to just at a lower level plunder the American worker and taxpayer to fund their donors. And tragically, it's been decades of both of those things going on, depending on which party was in power.
Talking to Richard Stern from the Heritage Foundation. Richard, so do you think will the stock market recover from this quickly? Are we going to get back to normal here after the initial shock of all this?
Well, so the stock market, I think, will almost certainly recover. And to your question about the timeline, what I would say is it depends on the timeline of the negotiations abroad. If a week from now, dozens of countries have removed their trade barriers on the U.S., and Trump has gotten the victories that we need for the American public, you're going to see the stock market roar back as it never has before. But if this takes months or longer, or if Congress doesn't want to pass a tax cut bill or any number of other things, then it might take a lot longer for the market to recover. But again, I think that just speaks to how critical it is, frankly, that Congress work with the president to cut regulations, to cut wasteful government spending.
And they're on it. They are on it. They are working, man, night and day. Wait. No, they went home this week, so never mind.
3 weeks.
Well, you can always rely on Congress for that, right?
Right. Yes, you can. So are you optimistic that that these countries will see the light, come to the table, and will be able to reach an agreement with them fairly soon?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
In fact, let me give you something. It's a little bit of kind of pulling the veil back on the politics on this one. A lot of these countries impose these trade barriers, not, to be frank, not because they, in some large group, wanted to put the trade barriers on us. It's because they have special interest businesses there who bought enough politicians a decade, 2 decades ago to get those imposed.
Wow.
To tell you the truth, there are politicians there that are using what Trump is giving them as cover so they can go to their own corrupt special interests and say, I would have left your special interests in place, but man, Trump is coming after us. I got to get rid of these. So there's actually politicians abroad who are encouraged by Trump, who are actually using what Trump is giving them as cover to deal with their own political corruption, to get rid of corruption they would have loved to have gotten rid of, but didn't have the artillery support on.
Acting Director of the Thomas Institute for Economic Policy, Richard Stern. Appreciate the information. Thanks a lot.
And thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. So are you telling me that Congress is off for 3 weeks, not just this week? Is that what you just said?
So they
should be fired.
I know that the schedule had originally had a 2-week break, and had them coming back on Monday, April 28th. And my understanding is when the rebellion from Anna Paulina Luna and others happened, and Mike Johnson said, "We're out of here." Right. I'm pretty sure we're clear until the 28th.
Holy
now.
Cow. That's
it's insanity.
That's unacceptable.
It's
insane.
Absolutely insane.
It is. I don't know about you, but one of the things I love best in life is a delicious, juicy, tender steak. And I love it when that steak comes from a cow that was raised right here in Texas. Raised the right way. If you want to buy beef from a family-owned, fifth-generation ranch like I do, look no further than Tri-Tails Beef. You can bring premium Texas beef right to your table because these are top-tier cuts of meat. Hand-packed and delivered directly to you. USDA Prime and Choice with high-end Black Angus genetics that ensures that every single bite's going to be absolutely delicious. There's no grass-fed gimmicks. You know, you see that all the time in the grocery store. Grass-fed! Okay. This is just premium, flavorful beef that's been raised the right way and balanced for tenderness and marbling. So that means these cattle are pasture-raised, grain-finished, by Texans who care about the quality of their product. I get hungry just thinking about it, and Jeffy's about to eat his own arm right now. So hopefully he can wait till he gets home and dive into the steak. But visit Tri-Tails Beef, trybeef.com/Pat Gray. That's TRY, trybeef.com/Pat Gray. You'll get free steak tips on orders over $249.99. That's trybeef.com/Pat Gray for free steak tips on orders over $249.99.
Pat Gray Unleashed is here.
So we got some gifts, I guess, from Pathead Kenneth Springer.
We sure did. Let me grab these here.
And this is in honor of Jasmine Crockett calling.
Oh, nice.
What?
Calling our governor Hot Wheels.
Yep.
Oh.
Here we go.
That.
Here we go.
Okay, so
look at that. Huh?
Oh, look at that.
These are cool, man. So we got an
cool.
extra large here.
Okay.
Let's see. I'll take an extra large as well. There's another extra large. I don't know if this is.
That's me, bro.
That's for you. Okay, that's
All right.
for. I'll just put Chris. I'll put it right there. And then I don't know what's going on here. This
like
is
you got the tent size. It's a circus tent.
This is a
circus tent
5XL. I don't know who it's for exactly. But there it is.
I don't either.
I don't know.
Wow.
Well, I'll take it.
You'll take it.
I'll take it.
It's a
That's
curtain.
fine.
Look at
is
that
what
thing.
it is. Anyway, Jeffy, find out whoever this belongs to and give it to him if
That's
you would,
fine.
please.
I'll just take it. That's okay. I don't know if it was meant for me or
cold?
not.
Thank you, Kenneth. Great stuff.
5X. That's awesome.
But we don't fat shame.
No, we're not
Wait,
fat shaming.
how's that coming into this conversation? That's
Wait.
Yeah, we didn't even say that was for Jeffy. He just took it.
Yeah.
He took it. That's fine. That's fine.
Dude, going into the interview with the guy from Heritage,
Yeah.
I see Keith put his headphones on and he broke them. We're talking about tariffs.
no.
You need to go ahead and get a pair now before the tariffs jack the price up on those headphones, bro.
Yeah, I'm not happy about this. I mean, these aren't cheap. And I was just putting it on crack. And Jeffy's looking over here. What was that? Did you break a bone again, Malinak? No, it was my headphones, and now it's just dangling there. And it's
But the headphones I bought you.
Good.
That's not good.
Oh yeah, the headphones you bought me. They're they're over there somewhere.
Huh. Okay.
That's cool. That's cool. Hey, did you have some more video from the polls? What was
I'm
this?
not letting this go until you guys admit that the Earth is round. So please play clip 15.
Okay.
Hear more footage from their polls.
Has that been a difficult process, getting us to admit that the Earth is round?
See, there it is right there.
Wow.
There it is.
Okay.
Wait, what are we doing? All right, here we go.
It's
Okay.
mind-boggling up here. It is so much
Mind-boggling. So you need us to admit it's round?
Yes.
When have we said it's
So
not?
we're to believe that this is real?
There it is.
Is that what you were saying?
So this is an IMAX theater situation? What are we doing here?
Hey, Jay.
Wow.
Cool.
Let me ask you this question.
Crazy up here.
Isn't the
It's
Earth
so
supposed to
much
be
fun.
spinning?
Oh.
Aren't the
really
people at
fast,
the
too, right?
ISS spinning around the globe, we're told?
A lot of people
Right.
say that too.
Certainly doesn't look like that's the case.
No, it looks like it's just hanging out.
Let me show
Good
you.
point, Jeff Fisher.
Show you
But honestly, I think it is a fair question to say, why have we never had this?
Yeah, that's weird. That's really, really weird.
And to my understanding from the astronauts, what we're seeing here is land not...
Is what?
Humans have not gone to those parts of the polars.
Yeah, whatever he's saying, it doesn't matter.
All right,
I think we're all distracted by
It's already gone. I don't see a pole, I'll tell you that.
That's the other thing.
Yeah,
Where's
no
these poles we keep hearing about?
No pole. So are they still doing the...
Yes, they are.
The pole-to-pole orbit?
Yes.
Why have we never done that?
It's so weird. I don't know. We've only gone around the equator, right? We've never gone pole to pole.
And that was the theory that the flat earthers were using. But since we're going to mock me,
what?
You guys see the man that was arrested for stealing chickens?
Mock you?
I did, actually.
No.
I thought of you.
I did not.
I'm hung up on the fact you think you've ever been mocked before.
Yeah. Wow, a little too sensitive maybe?
Right. Where did that come from?
Holy cow, Chris.
Okay, so what's this chicken guy? What now?
Boyfriend steals girlfriend's chickens, ex-girlfriend's chickens.
Yeah.
Okay.
And police are...
Show me your hands. That's fine. Just hold your chicken. Don't hurt my chicken. I'm not going to hurt your chicken.
Kitsap County Sheriff's deputies confront a man accused of stealing a chicken while violating an order of protection. The call for help came from a woman who said her former boyfriend had shown up at her home in unincorporated Port Orchard early in the morning of Saturday, March 29th, kicking in a back door and shouting, "I've got Polly," several times before running away with the chicken that was inside the house.
Hey, show us your hands.
I got my chicken.
Stand up.
After a search, deputies located the man hiding in a wooded area on J.M. Dickinson Road.
Hey, relax a little.
He was still clutching the chicken as he was taken into custody.
I'm going to have you put the chicken in here for a second.
Deputies allowed him to place the chicken safely into a patrol unit before booking him on charges of residential burglary and violating an order of protection. KCSO jail records showed the 50-year-old man had been released from custody that morning, just 2.5 hours before the incident.
Wow.
Take your meds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not steal chickens. That's the moral of the story.
This is my own Polly, the chicken.
I got Polly.
Don't take. I'm disappointed in the South. I expected that to be a Southern state.
I know.
That was Washington State, and that seems on brand for my home state of Georgia.
Seems like they have mental illness there as well.
Yes.
That guy was not right in the head. Come on.
Don't take Polly.
Also, you're going to draw down on the guy because he took a chicken?
That was a
phaser,
though, right? That's
I don't know.
That was
I
a
was
gun.
trying to be able to.
That was a gun.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
Well, it's a serious matter. What the heck, you guys? That's a serious matter. He stole a chicken.
Exactly. That's how serious it was. He stole a chicken.
He stole a chicken.
Stole it.
He's hiding out in the woods. He stole the chicken.
It's Polly.
We're gonna shoot him.
Use her name.
We're gonna bring him down.
Do you see the mocking? I was willing to let it go, Chris, but Keith was
Were
not.
you though? Were you?
I was. I was gonna let it
You did
go.
your signature thing where you lean back.
I
and
was
then
gonna
start
let
laughing.
Stoled go.
Stoled Polly.
All right, because I wanted to get to this fencing thing. A female fencer just refused to compete against a male athlete who was disqualified from a competition under USA Fencing. Stephanie Turner of the Fencing Academy of Philadelphia was set to take on a male athlete, Wagner College's Redmond Sullivan, at the Cherry Blossom, a fencing event, which I don't have to tell you this. Everybody knows about the Cherry Blossom fencing event at the University of Maryland every year. We love it. Usually we're there for it, but
why didn't we do a live remote this year?
Had to go to BYU baseball.
I had to go to the baseball game.
Is that
this
why
year.
we
That's
canceled
why.
it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Darn.
But as the match began, Turner refused to participate against the male and took a knee in protest.
Yeah. They bent right down. They
Good.
Yeah, and this is the way it has to be done. But she took a beating for it.
Of course she did.
She took a beating for it from the head guy, was all for it, and they disqualified her, and she was ready for it. She said, I don't care. I'm not doing it.
Wow.
I mean, she took a stand there.
Good for her.
But she was the one that was disqualified, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I thought we fixed that.
I thought so too. It just keeps happening over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, she said the other fencer had come up to her when she took a knee and said, wanted to make sure, are you okay? Are you hurt? And she said, no, I'm not fencing you because you're a guy.
Good for her.
And he said, she said that the director is okay with it, and they say that it's okay, and I can fight. And she was like, I don't care. You're a guy.
Does this guy even purport to be female? Because
as far as
the name seemed, I don't know, fairly male oriented.
Okay.
Redmond Sullivan.
Okay, I mean, I personally was under the impression that he does identify.
He does identify as a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm being told he's definitely identifies as trans.
Yeah. There you go.
What a world.
What a world, man.
A world.
And the people in charge of the fencing event, were all for it. They were against her for taking a knee.
How terrible.
It's just despicable.
I just don't.
It's despicable.
Man. How old were they? Do we know?
College students. So yeah.
Okay, so is a college involved here? Like how? I mean, that sounds like Trump taking federal funding.
I think it might be a separate event, a separate thing.
She said, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give it to God. If this person shows up to my event and is on my script, then I'll take a knee, and that'll be God's will. And it will probably, she said, at least for a moment, destroy my life. I don't think that it's going to be easy for me now. From now on, going to fencing tournaments, I don't think it's going to be easy for me at practice even.
And can I just
right.
say, I shame on the young ladies that didn't do this.
That's right.
Because that's how you're going to stop it en masse.
Get united.
Yeah.
Be united on this front.
And we all know how important fencing is.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
So
nobody supports it more than you. That's what I hear.
Thank you.
You and chewing the fat, if I'm not mistaken.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.